Tony. Let me tell you a story about a Welsh dragon named Flinny. He spread his wings and he up on the north of Sydney. He might not look like much, but he's big in the cooch. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jacob Flynn. We the PAC, this out POD.
Let's all go global after this. Name drops him, right?
All the time, I do hope for the weekend.
Sometimes it's like, hey, Laurent.
Good afternoon, ladies and Tonys. You're listening to the PAC podcast powered by the Pig Athletic Club. My name is Sione, and if this is your first time joining us, we are a touring rugby club and reformed meme media platform for the players. We're the voice of the people, and we're simply here to make rugby great again, one meme at a time. Please welcome my co-host, everyone's favourite Fia Poli Palangi, Mr. Lione Fallini.
Oh, my lolly, Tangas and Tanga Mimi.
Okay, guys, we had one person jump on the discount code last week, so thank you for jumping on the Jake Turnbull discount code. This week's discount code, if you want some PAC merch, jump on our website, www.pigathleticlub.com, and put in the discount code Jacob Flynn. We'll be dropping the interview later in this episode, so...
No, so when you actually watch if you're watching us on YouTube or any of those sort of platforms, he's actually that size. So what you see is what you get.
Yeah. For those who have got dyslexia like myself and want to know the spelling, it's JACOBFLYNN. So treat yourself at the discount code and fake it, Tony.
Thank you. Done.
Before we get started, don't get any ideas. We didn't get sponsored. It's gifted. Hashtag gifted. So it's just like getting sponsored, except you don't give us any money.
Yeah, I was going to have one, but mine, I just got mine in the mail. And
I was going to pretend. That's actually pretty good. I'm not a beer guy, but that's actually pretty good. So thank you,
well done.
Black Ops.
they're a good brewer. They're a good brewer, Black Ops.
Very tasty.
Yeah, thank you, son.
Okay, icebreaker. It's a little bit awkward. I haven't spoken to you after last week's what happened on the weekend, which we'll get into later. But icebreaker of the week. What would you do if you won 200 mil, which was drawn last week?
Well, Tony, you wouldn't be sitting in that garage, my friend. First of all, I would give you your first written warning for missing something on the weekend, which we'll get into after. But, mate, we'll be packing it out, baby. We'll have tours, we'll have fucking everything. PAC would make it. Finally bankrolled. So you spend the whole 200 mil on PAC? Because we won't make the money back. No. Whoa. So I would have to have a board meeting, and I'd probably make the office in my house here, and just have like a really long table in the garage. You would know if you came on the weekend, but anyway, we'll get into that later. And just have a big long table, and I'd wear a tuxedo, and maybe I'd make some cuts. We don't know. I mean, if you're not performing, you might get the boot. But basically, no, I'd set up my family, pay off pay my house off. And fucking PAC would get a good little. I'd basically have enough in the bank so the interest would pay for PAC.
Yeah, smart. So you make like a little trust and all that little white people thing. Smart. I had similar. I would invest into PAC, making it full time. Get Johnny out of the jungle, get Ryan off the tools, and come full time. Get Yops and Tino in the making some little mini docos. I actually had, what would Johnny do? Because I was trying to think of what people would do. I had you down full-time podcast though. You're good with the mic. You imagine if you spent full-time hours preparing what you're going to say. What would Johnny...
What would Johnny do, mate? I reckon he would honestly still work in the jungle.
You can work full-time, Johnny. How much are you earning there? Yeah, we'll match it. He's like, no, boss.
I got to go back to my rehab, boss. Mate, I think he enjoys it. I actually genuinely think he enjoys hazing himself, hanging around. Like I said, bro, he should come and work for the NDIS back here, because I'm telling you what,
Yeah.
Some of those tours we go on, some of the boys should sign up.
Oh yeah, I also said like you said, set up your family. Said close friends and family, get some cash money, pay off all their debt, and a little bit extra to, send them on their way. And
you should say literally like this is it, guys. Like there's no cousin or father's son's fucking lost goldfish that's cousin who died.
Yeah,
they're not getting any money. This is it, guys. Like you do with it what you will, but I'm not fucking giving any more money. Don't fucking call me.
Yeah. So let us know what you would do with the 200 mil. I did get a little bit of surprise when I got the notification on Thursday night when they drew the Powerball. Got you won. That was the message. I was like, fuck. Click into the email, into the website, and said you won, and then drag down. It was like Division 6 or something. So I won $80, which still grateful for, mate. Still grateful for my $80, and it's gone back into.
Well done, mate.
Gone back into lotto tickets for the rest of the month.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's fair, man. And, like, if you won that 200 million, maybe buy your dad's foot.
That's a good one.
Maybe buy, like, a new
plane
airline.
ticket.
Maybe buy yourself a new airline yourself, mate.
Yeah, but...
Oh, you know what I would do? I'd get that gastric bypass surgery.
You don't need it yet.
Doesn't matter, man. I'll get it so I'll remain, like, fit, you know? And I can just eat whatever I want. I just can't physically eat too much. Oh man, I fucking talk about it all the time, but honestly, I'd just be training.
Would you do it?
I'd buy your membership too. We can go train together.
I got membership, I just don't go.
Oh, you don't use it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anyways, that'll be nice. Let's get into thank you, Tony. What are you thankful for this week, mate?
Thanks for asking, Tony. I'm thankful for the internet. That's all I'm going to say. I'm thankful for the internet, and the reason why I'm thankful, I've realised like everyone thinks you're picky when it comes to women. Everyone thinks that you don't like women. You don't like anyone particularly. But I found the reason why you keep falling out of love, mate, and how they don't stick around for long. All right? I found it, and thank you to the internet. But it's actually a sexual maneuver. And that I found, this is why the girls don't stick around. But it's actually called the alligator fuck house. And it's a daring sexual maneuver. Mid-coitus, one person bites the neck of the other, locks her arms and legs around and goes into a death roll, all while maintaining insertion, just like downshifting a car. And, all I know is that after the one night, they don't return. And all I can put my finger on down to is the alligator fuck house. So there you go. That's my thank you, Tony. Thank you, internet.
They're trying to bite their fucking neck.
Oh, man. I get it, man. And when you've had a couple of drinks too, you're like, go, don't blame me.
First of all, that's a scraps.
Yeah.
Where did you find that, though?
Guys?
Where did you find that?
Man?
The
internet, man.
Yeah, you just go and do background checks on me randomly, finding AI, LinkedIn profile pictures.
That's the funniest. Well, don't you worry about that. That'll be coming up.
Okay. I'm thankful for my run club, mate. Actually started my run club this week. Went for a run each day, so 2 so far. Got to go today and make it 3. So my run club, I started. It wasn't looking good, bruv. So don't ask for my kilometer time split, but yeah.
I was just about to say, what were your splits, bro?
I'm just saying,
come on, man.
Don't stop.
On. No, say it.
Don't stop. It was it was in the 8 minutes mark. But earlier in the year, it was in 8 minutes, and then I got it back down to the 7s, and then now it's gone back to the 8 minutes. High 8 minutes, if I may say.
When you Google how long does it take to walk, how long does it take to walk 1 kilometer, and it's actually 9 minutes and 10 seconds. The average human.
Yeah.
I could have made that fact up, but do research.
You fuck. Anyways, we're starting and we ain't stopping. We ain't stopping. Which brings us to Scrams. Scrams of the week.
Yes. Scrams of the week. You've got a couple of mentions here.
Thank you.
First mention. No wonder why your brother's my best friend in the whole wide world. Is because he wouldn't have missed my baby cue. He almost wanted to come over from America, and here's Tony.
20 minutes away.
20 minutes away on the train. I even told you I'd double dink you from the fucking train station here on the back of my bike, and you just refused to come. So I don't really know what the fuck problem was with you, bro. But you know that's why your brother is my best friend in the whole wide world, and you will always be second. Okay. Yeah. And I'm glad that it's fucking hot in there because it looks hot, bro.
Yeah, it's hot. I did say it wasn't hot before, but it's fucking steaming, bro. But in my defense, I've got a defense. No,
I'm still going.
Okay, yeah, I'll wait for my defense.
Anyway, so my scrams is also to the internet. Thank you once again for finding Sione Hellu's LinkedIn pic. First of all, what I was most shocked with wasn't the gorgeous jawline, the perfect beard, the big chiseled deltoids and good body and striking good looks. It was what really, really rocked me was the hairline, bro.
What are you talking about,
Your hairline, your hairline ain't down there, bro. It is. You're going fucking. Remember
We're
those
still
wingers
here,
from the wingers from the Sharks back in the day,
Yeah.
the Twins. That was you, bro.
In Ningani.
Ningandi. Johnny Ningandi, motherfucker.
I put it up as like, nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's gonna notice. Ryan, what the fuck is this, bro?
What the freak?
And then Molly sent it to me after you posted it. Like, well, I thought it was pretty similar, mate.
Oh, mate. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you for always, making sure I'm grounded, mate. Feet on the ground.
Yeah,
feet on the train.
Yeah, mate. Those feet don't move fast.
Yeah,
they're on the ground, that's for sure.
And they didn't move fast on the weekend when I had somewhere to be. And in my defence, I'm going to blame our former Supreme Leader, Jonathan Brown. I'm here in the dungeon, putting in work. I did a few, did some stuff on our sponsorship on Friday night. But I still, and then I sound my alarm to wake up early to watch the Six Nations. So I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. And actually, before that, I went and got a rental car from Crazy Clark's on Friday night because I do want to take the train to Ryan's because I knew he was going to say, oh, did you take the train, bruv? I was like, nah, let's drive a car. And I was going to go to the coast after that. So
you rented a car and everything?
Got a rental, parked it up big, went to sleep, woke up early, watched the Six Nations, and I was fucking tired, bro. So I was like, oh, I have still a few hours before Freeney's baby queue, and I was going to arrive late anyway, so I was like, oh, I'll have a half an hour nap. Half an hour nap turned into 5 hours. So missed the time when I could have gone to the coast, so I had to come back and return the rental by the end of the night. So
you basically picked it up to drive it home and drive it back to the rental.
Yeah, the expensive weekend to sleep in.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
So yeah, scrams myself and scrams my wallet once again. New segment. Well, it's just a new name. Went a bit crazy on the socials, on the TikToks last week with some of your entries, and we've got a new name for it. I'm going to call it Spill the Tea. Give us some of your goodies, and this week's was off the back of I let Freeney down. I let my teammate down. All I had to do was turn up, because that's all you got to do for your teammate is turn up. And
turn up, mate.
Yeah. So this week's Spill the Tea topic is: when have you let a teammate down bad? What happened? And are you guys still mates? The first one was, once I slept with my teammate's mum, and he has no idea, so we're still mates.
Do you want me to tell you a good one?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I moved to England, me and my best friend in the whole wide world, your brother, we had a teammate. Well, he was fantastic to us, fantastic to me and your brother particularly, but not so much the forwards coach. His daughter would hang around a bit at the drink ups, and one thing led to another. He ended up getting pregnant. She got pregnant, and then he's like, "Oh, laid a bolt back to New Zealand." So all I'm going to say is that that kid looks exactly like him too, and yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, the best thing, the funniest part of the story was when we're nearly leaving. We're having a last piss up at the rugby club, and anyway, we're about to leave. The forwards coach gets up and gives us, starts presenting our jerseys. Anyway, he goes up to him. He's presenting him his jersey. I'm not going to mention his name, but anyway, he goes, "Instead of your number on the back here, I was going to get number 1 dad," because he knew he was fucking off.
Fuck.
Anyway, fuck, that was a good one.
Oh, wow. Next one. I crashed my teammate's car one time. I borrowed her car to do a bottle-o run. Parked the car on the street at the front of her place like nothing happened. To this day, she thinks it was a hit and run.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, and this one, a teammate of mine matched with a baddie on Tinder and was bragging to the boys in the group chat. He sent through a couple screenshots of her page, and I did what any good mate would do, and I had a little stalk for myself. A few weeks pass, and a teammate of mine has taken his Tinder match out on 1 or 2 dates. Then one weekend, I find myself out for a few day beers with my non-rugby mates, and I spot my mate's Tinder date sitting at the table next to me with her and her mates. A couple beers later, her and her mates have joined our table, and I'm here talking to her pretending I haven't just stalked her a few weeks prior. I knew I was going to attempt to break bro code as soon as I started to think in my head, am I actually mates with my teammate? Few beers later, we end up kicking on at her mate's place, and we end up having a nice little tango in the bathroom. Later that night, we go to exchange IG details, and she asks how I know ... I tell her that we're on the same footy team, and after that weekend, she goes ghost on my teammate, and I continue to see her for a few more weeks. So that's the story of me dogging my teammate, and yes, we're still mates because he still has no idea it happened.
Oh, well, technically, he's done. That's a grey area.
Yeah,
that is a grey area. Because, obviously they're not together or an item, and I mean, it is pretty shit. But at the same time, it's
if his mate didn't brag, then he never would have known. But in his he's still maybe beelined for her because. Yeah,
I think it's look. Maybe just tell him. Just tell him, go look, man.
Remember that time? And then
remember that time you like that girl?
Yeah, that's why I got this scarf.
I took her to Pound Town. Yeah, I saw a pum pum in it.
I feel like this has happened a lot in, especially in Sydney rugby circles. Jumping and changing over here. But yeah, technically you did nothing wrong. But yeah.
Just air it out. The worst that could happen is he gets a bit angry for me. You wouldn't lose a friendship over that. You'd almost laugh about it now.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. Yeah, this is actually reminds me of what I did in the Netherlands. But yeah, no, you wouldn't lose friendships over it. So yeah, and I get it when he said in his head, he was trying to think, am I actually mates with my mate? I've done that before. But I never,
It's not about you.
No. No, mine was in the kitchen, mate.
Oh, fuck.
Anyways, thanks, guys, for sending it in. And we'll cross over to our Hong Kong Tens segment. We're a few weeks out we're probably 2 months out from Hong Kong Tens, making our debut at Hong Kong Tens. And we thought we'd do a little player draft. We're going to have a little player draft of our own. But we thought best 10 Tens team of all time. Well, not all time, at the moment. So players playing right now. Who's hot? You want to start?
Yep.
So you start any player, and then I'll go next
My
player.
number loosehead prop, Ponne.
Oh, fuck. Okay, he's out of my team. Okay, I'll go my loosehead prop, Angus Bell.
Oh, yeah, he'd be good. Number 2, Asafa Amur.
Oh, yeah, fuck. Okay, that's good. I'll go number 2, Malcolm Marks.
Yep. Number 3, Nella.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
How did you not select the best?
No, I had Bonnet originally at tight head, but now he's out. I'll go the Scottish prop Piers Skolman. Big curly head.
Like my team. Okay, so we got 4. The second row because it's a 5-man scrum. I've got Lungy Gleeson.
Okay, yeah, I've gone with Shannon Frizzell.
I've got Adi Savea.
Okay,
at the scrum.
I'm going to have to get rid of Artie, so I'll put in what's his name, Quagga Smith.
Oh yes, Quagga.
6.
Number at all halfback is DuPont.
Okay, I'll go on Aaron Smith.
Mate, he's fucking 40.
He's still good, mate. Now he's still got it.
Yeah, DuPont's fucking the best in the world, but whatever. At 10, I've got Moanga.
Oh, fuck. Yep, you taking Mo Monga. I'm going to go with Carter Gordon.
And then the back 3 to round it out, the Cheston Colby.
Okay, I've gone Mucky Mark.
Kurabetti.
Okay, I've gone Bundyaki. And to round it out,
Mark Talea.
oh, fuck. Okay, I'll go Rico Yane. Okay, on paper, mine looks good, but I think you might have edged me here, but we'll put it to the followers. I'll chuck it up in the post. Who do you think is going to win out of my team or Ryan's team? Ultimate 10s.
Easy, mine.
Okay. All right, let's cross over to Ironside as we do our rugby wrap. Welcome, Ironside, all the way from Manly. How you going, mate?
Good, mate.
And we're about 3 weeks away from the start of Super Rugby, so we'll get into trial matches, but we'll start off with the Six Nations that kicked off on the weekend. I got my bets wrong, my Deep in the Cup bets wrong, but this week we will get Ironside to have a crack at his Deep in the Cup bets. But did you catch the games on the weekend?
Just took away from it. That 5 for France. How about coming back on, like gives away a yellow card and then he just comes back on? Like, surely you know that you got to go easy or take it easy. I think he stuffed it for him. But I did read something that was quite amusing about that game. I read this from Rob Herring. And it goes, "This is the World Cup final everyone wanted but never got," was his quote after the game.
Yeah.
Which made me think that the Six Nations is like the old sevens. It's the World Cup plate that they're playing for. So...
Yeah, I was excited for it because I woke up early to watch it, and it didn't sort of live up because the yellow cards did, and obviously turned into a red card. They obviously ruined the match, but yeah.
I'm not fully convinced that Ireland is anywhere as good as they were probably leading into the World Cup. From what I saw, it was pretty, it got away from them at the end, France, but I mean, even then, questions for France, that's a pretty convincing loss.
Yeah, I'm actually the other way.
So,
you said you weren't impressed, like, you're not convinced with Ireland. I'm actually the other way. I didn't think they were going to do too well, and the 10 didn't actually do too well. But the Irish they just go through the motions. They got some sort of gameplay that just goes and it get clocks. Like they look really good, especially Bundyaki. But I think they've just got it. They've got the same players. I think the forward pack, it's pretty much the same from the World Cup, and I think, I don't think the French looked very good. Even though they did, even when they had 15 on the field, they didn't look like the Frenchies. Jalibert and Luku didn't fire like they did. The 9 that came on was a lot better than Luku. So it'll be interesting if they go with the same sort of combination.
And I think it's it's kind of funny with France though. I don't know if I haven't got through the whole thing, but I've been watching that Six Nations documentary.
Yeah.
And when their coach goes that we play with their French, we can play like this because we're taught like this, and we play with French flair. That made me just hate the French. That actually made me not want to win. I don't know, just something about saying that like there's some special thing about French rugby. Like I don't think they're any better than any other nation in the world. I don't necessarily think they have that much of a distinct style. But anyway, maybe I'm just being a little bit, nice. And I was starting to hate the Irish by the World Cup because they started getting a bit cocky. But then again, watching that Six Nations documentary, quite like them. I still think they're obviously now they're putting themselves in the driver's seat. But that kind of leads me on to the Scottish Welsh game.
Yep.
Now, there's no mistaking that I do like Finn Russell. And they kind of let it go at the end, the Scottish, but let Wales come back into it. But if there's any year that Scotland's going to win it, I think it's this year.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think there's going to be a Grand Slam this year. I can't see one team going undefeated. So, I'm hoping that Scotland can scrape it out because they did look really good to start that game, and then they just kind of, I don't know what it is. Maybe they just played from in front and they just kind of let them come back at them. But yeah.
Yeah, and in Scotland's defence, it was literally those 2 yellow cards is the only reason why Welsh did so well in the second half. Because that first half was, like when old mate called himself Messi, I was like, this shot himself in the foot. And then this game he's gonna fuck it up. But that first half, he was the Messi of rugby. He just didn't give a fuck. He was just kicking it here and there, and actually came off a few times. So, big fan of the Scottish, and I actually want them to win now. I was back in the Frenchies, but I'm on the Scottish bandwagon.
That try where he goes through, he just, we say it all the time, he just looks so like not athletic, or not in a bad way because I look completely unathletic, but he just gets himself through the line, and it's like he almost just like shuffles through with his running style. And then passing that to Van der Meren, I can't say his name probably right now, but he's got the funniest. He doesn't have a step. He just like turns the corner and straightens, and he's just gone. They look dangerous, I reckon, and their forward pack's looking a bit more solid. I think they were a bit unlucky in the World Cup, so it's always good after World Cup. Good chance to sneak one out. But then the opposition, Wales, and I think he's either coming on a bit later, but our Welsh mate Flynn won't be too happy about the way that Welsh rugby's looking, because I think they really going to miss that Zammit.
Lewis Rees Zammit.
They just didn't have. I don't think they really had too much about them. They didn't really, excite. They weren't playing exciting. They didn't have that like hard-nosed forward pack. It just looked a little bit blur, if you know what I mean.
Speaking of not too much exciting, let's skip over to the English, who weren't very exciting, as we knew they would. I actually enjoyed watching the Italians played. They're similar to the French, sort of, and I was hoping that they would, kick on in the second half, but just didn't have that. I don't know what it was. Like I'm a big fan of the 9-10, the brothers in the first half, but it just didn't kick on in the second half. What are your thoughts on the match? England versus?
I guess they've debutised a lot of players, and I mean, we did that pre-World Cup, which you can maybe have a bit of sympathy for them. They just didn't look very tough. Like I guess you come up against Italy, the way you probably try and beat them, you probably try and dominate in the forwards and stuff. I don't think they really did. No. They kind of played into the Italians' games, but I can't see them. Man, I can see them not winning a game again. Like they're the worst team other than Italy at the moment. But it's I didn't think Italy was that bad. I think they were a bit unlucky in the end. Yeah, they've got that. They've always played with that bit of French flair, but their two centres had a lot more. Coach maybe, but their centres are such more powerful running, and they played pretty like expansive, but they still played pretty direct with them, which I noticed from the World Cup. They're a bit different. I mean, what's his name? Kieran Crowley, I think their coach was a Kiwi bloke. He was there for so long, so it's good they haven't just like new coach, they haven't just thrown everything out the window. And he's another one in that Six Nations documentary I really liked. Yeah, he's pretty hard nosed, but let them kind of play their own kind of style of game. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the centres because actually I've never seen old mate Minicello play before until that game on the weekend, and big fan. They did say he was injured last year in the World Cup, so he wasn't there, but man, big fan because he jumped on in the wing, I think, a few times, or found himself in the wing a few times and just bossed some of the English boys. So be good to see some of those younger Italians coming through the ranks.
Yeah.
Okay, let's skip over to Super Rugby. Had a few trial matches on the weekend. You catch many of the games or highlights?
I caught a lot of different types of highlights.
Yeah.
I guess the Kiwi games, it was pretty cool. I know we've been talking about it. It was kind of like a Munster under-20s and a Crusaders, B or C try. And it's a pre-season game. They're mid-season. Yeah. But it was just cool to see two clubs playing against each other from opposite parts of the world, obviously. I'm hoping they've talked about it. I'm hoping that we get to see a bit more of that. But I think the big standout was the big improvers. The Highlanders look a lot better. Yeah. Looks like they've sorted out a few things. And the Chiefs got pumped by Panasonic Wild Knights. But, same thing. Different seasons, I guess, crossovers, people in the middle of it. But I reckon the Blues are definitely the Kiwi favourites.
Yeah, 100%. That wasn't the A team, and there was some standouts, especially the centre Evans, I think his name is, the bleach hair. Big fan of him. He cleaned up last year in the ITM NPC, and they just got, because of Rico. They've got Rico and they got Bryce Heem in the centres, and then they've got him hanging around as well. So, mate, I think the Blues will do some good this season.
They're my Kiwi. I think they're my Kiwi team. I just pick one a year, but I think they're my Kiwi team this year. And they've got those retro jerseys that got brought out, the old school ones. I think I might try and get my hands on them.
I've always been Blues ever since King Carlos days, but on the Aussie side of things, I have gone back to my roots and Burn City boy this season. But they got over the Tars I didn't see any of the highlights, but the scoreline ran out. Excited to see how they go. And Force, that was surprisingly actually decent against I know it was like a lot of the fringe players that probably won't get much of a run this season. But it's good to see the Force actually look like they're gonna. I think they look like they're gonna be top 2 Aussie team this year.
Yeah, obviously a bit biased, but Simon Cron is a outstanding coach, and he's really worked his way through that whole Super Rugby thing. But they started with a lot of their good players, and they, I think Fines and Ben Donaldson are going to have to be a bit of a connection there, and they look like they had that connection to start. And I've always liked another North player, Max Bury at fullback. I think they've got a pretty good. They're shaping up with a pretty decent team. The score. Obviously, a lot of blokes might not get a game, but it's good to see Molly. Got about 20 minutes in the end.
Seven.
7 plus 13, and good to see. Good friend of PAC, good friend of mine, Vesty back out. Yeah.
Fresh set of locks
after he broke his neck. Yeah, and he a few trips to Turkey it looks like, but it just good. If you saw his interview after the game, Vesty's there's a lot with Vesty, but he looked very stressed doing his little post-match interview. He looked like he was all prepared. So man, the big disappointment was the Waratahs. I hope that's just a first blowout, but I reckon if you're going off trials, you got to go Rebels and Force 1-2 for Australian teams, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of Rebels, bit of whispers. It's already come out that the Rebels have gone into voluntary administration, but there's whispers that the Brumbies might be joining them. You heard any whispers on your side of the border?
I'm hearing some stuff about the Rebels that a lot of that 20 million was had to be paid to Amy Park. But it's just my thing. I'm a business owner. I'm not an expert on $20 million worth of business.
Yeah.
But they went to Japan last month and they spent a bit of money going over to Japan. How do you get into $20 million worth of debt? I mean, we're seeing it happen in England. We're seeing it happen in other parts of the world, different things. Man, the more I read about centralising everything and how it's worked for different countries, I think that something needs to happen. I know it's scary. They might think they lose control, but I don't know. You can't. The state of play is that the Rebels won't be in the competition next year if they keep going the way they are. Yeah,
I've heard whispers that they probably won't even last the season. That's out of Melbourne too. Yeah. So hopefully old mate that told me that is a Scrams. And the Brumbies have come out saying, no, that's all Scrams, and which took me back to the Rebels who actually did the same thing the Brumbies just did. Said, no, look, we're on track for the next few years. Next minute, 2 weeks later, they've gone into voluntary administration. It's not looking good. And like you said, I think centralisation might be the only direction they can go to save these Super Rugby clubs, which we need. I know Freeney says are you on Freeney's side when he says to get rid of one? I think we need them.
I think that me as a rugby fan would love to see 5.
Yeah. And
then me as seeing how we compete in Super Rugby and how our teams compete, I think if you condense it to 4, there's more talent at 4 clubs. I'm on the fence with it, but I think that you have to keep the 3 teams. You have to keep the Reds, Waratahs, and the Brumbies because they get the most fans. I've read lots of people from Melbourne talk about the Rebels and stuff like that, but I don't know. If you see how many people go to their games, I think it's a bit of a call out that if you want to keep the Rebels in the comp, you got to 100%. Get to games. Like you got to start packing out games. And maybe Amy Park's too big for them. Maybe I don't know where else they can go, but it's
not looking good, bro.
It's a hard one to pick either way. It's not looking good.
Yeah, if you're a Melbourne fan and you're listening to this, get out to the games. Just get out to games.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because they've got any chance, best chance out of any Australian team in the last I reckon 5-6 years to win it. They've got a pretty good squad. They've got some good young talent. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. But then again, you look around and go, fuck, if we had 4 Super Rugby teams, we could spread the talent out between 4.
Yeah, true.
Do you reckon we do better? I reckon you definitely do better.
Yeah, fuck.
So.
Anyway.
I think that if we centralise these contracts, we might see more blokes playing club rugby because I feel like that's dropped off the last couple of years. I think the Super Rugby sides are too scared to let the boys kind of release the boys to play, and I think that's we can talk about it till the cows come home, but
cows are coming home right now.
Worrying.
All right, that wraps up our rugby wrap for the week. Make sure you tune in next week. Thanks, Ironside, for joining us. Before you go, mate, any shout-outs? You want to shout out anyone?
We should shout it out before, but big Connor Vest, mate. Good on him. Come back for a pretty serious neck injury. Obviously something scary to come back from that. I wouldn't do it, but full shout-out to him. And I think he's in for a big year with a full head of hair.
Yeah. Love your work, Vesty. And let's cross over to yourself and Dave as they have a little wee chat to our Welsh mate, Jacob Flynn.
All right, well, lucky enough we've been joined by a self-proclaimed Welsh legend of the Seventh Circuit. He's played at North the last couple of years as well. He's one of my good mates. He's a father-to-be.
Congrats, mate.
He's from one of the great towns in Wales, Port Talbot. A very interesting looking town that we might get popped up on the bottom of the screen when you search it, but his name's Jacob Flynn.
Welcome, mate. Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me.
Flinny, mate, well, let's just start. Let's go straight back where it all began. What made you start playing rugby?
Well, it was an inclusion sport, and obviously you can tell I'm vertically challenged. So, I'm joking. My dad and my brother were playing rugby all their lives, and watched my dad play from a young age, then watched my brother play. Then I kind of got made to play it, really, and then turned out to be half decent, some would say. So, yeah.
And then you moved on to obviously the was it Arbor Quins straight away, or
that was my childhood club, local club. Yeah.
Local club.
What's it called?
Arbor Harlequins.
Arbor Harlequins. What a name.
Yeah, it's good. I comment on their stuff all the time, pretend like I'm the local
Al's
sports
like
fan.
their favourite follower at the moment. Top content.
I'm a top fan of it. And now, obviously, growing up in Port Talbot, it's probably not a well-known place in the world.
Yeah, probably not.
Talk us through that. What was that like growing up around there? It's obviously a small community, but a pretty tight-knit one.
Yes, very small town. Steel manufacturing town. Big steel industry.
Hold on. Everyone works in the steel.
So it's basically the Wollongong of Wales.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I was going to say, Port. The closest thing I can think of Port Albert is Port Arthur, but anyways.
Probably very similar.
So your dad worked there?
Dad worked there. Dad works there.
He works there?
Brother works there.
You worked there?
I worked there.
Oh, God.
And then I had the lucky escape. Because I was the only talented one in the family. So
that's not what your dad says.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
If you think this bloke's bad, you should meet his dad. His dad.
Yeah. You don't want to meet him. Yeah, so it's a little town, but rugby's pretty big there. There's a lot of local clubs, big rivalries, and I played for the Quins up until 16, and then we played youth rugby. Then I signed for Aberafan in the Welsh Premiership then. I was 16, 17.
Is there any other... Do they play league or anything else? Soccer?
Not really.
So
league.
just all rugby?
Yeah, it's all union,
That's pretty cool.
League's pretty big in England, but not so big in Wales. But some boys get picked up from Wales to go over to the English clubs.
Oh, so is Wales and England not the same country?
Don't start.
So obviously, you go...
If this is where this is going.
So you're in the Welsh Prem. How many teams are in that? What's the kind of structure of that? Because I actually have never asked you that.
How many teams? I don't know, actually. That's a very good question.
What do you mean you don't know? Do you know how many teams you play throughout the year?
You just dominated every game
really.
you played.
I just turn up, win, and leave. There's about, I don't know, is it 16 maybe? Something like that.
Similar to here in Sydney all year round? As in winter?
Yeah.
Whole winter?
Yeah. It's very similar setup to Shoot Shield. But with the Shoot Shield teams, obviously you've got 4 grades.
Yeah.
Whereas the Welsh Prem teams, there's no grades, it's just the one Welsh
squad,
Prem. And then there's local clubs from that, like your subbies teams and stuff. So 16, the setup's a bit
16
different.
teams.
16, so I was right. So I do know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't question me again.
So then, how does obviously you played sevens for Wales for your country? Mm-hmm. You like to tell everyone?
I don't like to talk about it too much, but I've come on just for you guys.
How did that come about? How did you get picked up playing that? Were you already playing sevens tournaments or?
I've done a lot of invitational ones. But I didn't really get picked up from that. It was just from playing and training and stuff.
Yeah. Playing 15s?
Playing 15s, yeah.
Oh.
But then, I guess doing fitness tests and all that type of stuff. I think my coach said to them I'd be pretty handy. And then I ended up playing a lot of the European legs. They're the playing in Russia and Poland and those type of places.
Russia,
which is pretty fun. Yeah, Moscow.
I can't imagine playing rugby in Russia in winter.
Yeah, it was pretty daunting. I didn't like playing them actually. And then we'd play all those European tournaments, the European leg, and then if you do pretty well in those, you get called into the World Series. So
I couldn't think anything worse than touring European leagues.
Yeah, Moscow wasn't the highlight of my sevens career, I'll be honest.
So how long were you in that kind of system for? How many years?
I was playing all those European legs and stuff for 3 years maybe. Yeah. And then I only played 4 or 5 World Series tournaments then.
Yeah. Hong Kong. You played a Hong Kong one.
Hong Kong one was good, yeah. It was tricky for me because I was still working full time.
Yeah.
Back home and doing
the sevens,
series.
yeah. But the work was pretty good because it was representative. They give me paid leave to just go and play for Will. So yeah.
Do you ever wish that it might have been different? Now it's a bit more professionalised.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was a bit. Yeah, the Welsh Sevens didn't really get much backing and stuff. So we used to get a lot of academy boys coming through to get good exposure and game time. So the team was, I found, chopping and changing a lot, which was quite hard. Whereas I think now a lot of the teams have got their core group of boys who play a lot more together and stuff, and there's a bit more continuities.
Oh, hold on. Favorite out of the 5 series you did, favorite comp?
Hong Kong easy.
Hong Kong.
Yeah. None come close.
Any Hong Kong coast stories that we...
Tell us about... I know one that you can tell us about. Tell us about the time
there's a couple I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah, there's a lot he's not allowed to say. But tell us post one of those tournaments, you guys were in the... Did you win the bowl?
Lower than the bowl. It was a shield.
That's almost as good as a participation award.
Yeah, it literally was.
Play against some of the powerhouses in that tournament.
I think there was like the
North Korea.
lowest tier one we won. Yeah, North Korea, yeah.
What? So you're walking around, you tell us that story about you getting...
Oh, yeah, we won the shield and there's a bit of carry on. We were celebrating like we won the whole tournament, holding our scarves up and everything, done the lap of honour, clapping everybody, and all the boys are like taking pictures of fans and stuff, and a fan gave me a beer, but when we got told we're not allowed to go around and drink the beers, obviously, because we get tested and stuff after the tournaments. But
tested for beer?
Well, if they've been spiked and stuff, then you can't. It's not good. But I was just walking around, blasting all the taking videos, bolting all the beers, and then I got pulled afterwards, and I had a bit of a warning for doing that. So didn't do that again. But I don't think we won another shield, so I didn't get a chance to do it again.
I'd do the same.
Yeah.
Poor man's just on the steel man's wage, fucking touring Hong Kong.
And then I'm in the middle of Hong Kong winning shields. Come on.
Yeah, give the man a break.
You just go over and win,
that was good. You? And then after that, actually, we ended up in the corporate box watching Fiji and Kenya final, which was pretty cool. And all the Lions coaches like Gatland and Rob Howley and all that were in there, very, very pissed. And by the end of the night, we were all on karaoke, smacking Rob Howley on the head, singing Sweet Caroline with Gatland. And I don't know how we ended up in there, but it was a good night.
I'm sure you were telling Gatland who you were if you needed a nine.
I was hoping he watched my games because I was very, very good that tournament. But
when are you good, mate?
Yeah,
Come on.
When are you not good?
Well, let me tell you, last year when he was coming back from injury, he wasn't very good against West Harbour in 3rd grade. he threw this pass off doing like a 5-man. He's thrown his pass like at my legs, and lucky I'm an athlete, I caught it.
And Al doesn't like moving at the best of times.
I don't like moving ever, and I've caught it. I'm going, fuck Flynn, and as he comes around, he's running around the corner. It was one of the funniest moments in a rugby game. He goes, sorry Al, there's a lightning bullet to the cunt right.
As I went to pick a ball, I was like, sorry mate. And
then the next bloke gets next pass.
The next one was worse.
That probably moves on to that. It's like, what came with the opportunity to come down here? Obviously you started somewhere else down the road from here, from the Stain, went to the Marlins. How'd that come about? How hard a decision was that? Because I know you're one of my good mates, but I know you're very close to your family and your mates back there. What was the big decision to leave?
Probably a couple of my mates. So one of my friends, Luke Crocker, he signed for Manly, and then there's another one, Jay Baker. Crocker signed for Manly, and then they were looking for a few more players, and he kind of mentioned it to the coach at the time, which was Billy, actually, Melrose. Yeah. And, we just sent our clips across, and he was keen for a few of us to come over, which we did. And
when was this?
2019.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's when I came. But then, obviously, I had a couple of knee reconstructions.
Yeah.
So the first couple of years were quite rough.
Mm-hmm. How many games did you play for Manly?
I didn't play one.
That makes me so happy.
Collected every cashier on weekends, though, I'm sure.
And then, obviously I knew Zach very well from Manly, and he went to Norths, and I already knew a few of the boys at Norths, like Alan, Dave, and a few of the other boys. So,
so obviously coming to Sydney was by chance with your mates.
Just because of my mate coming here, yeah.
My question is, obviously, never heard of the Shoot Shield, I'm assuming.
Yeah, not at that point, nah.
Arriving, first impressions of Shoot Shield, both on the field and off the field?
Very, very good. I think the standard's a lot higher than back home. But I always say to people the game is very different. Obviously it's a lot wetter back home. There's a lot more box kicking, there's a lot of kicking, but here obviously with the good weather and stuff, it's a lot more free flowing, and
probably
enjoy that.
Probably suits you more.
Yeah.
You should have probably been
when I'm actually playing.
Born Australian. You would have been better off probably.
Yeah. Well, that's my dad's fault.
Or your mum.
And then so Manly, and then you moved over to North.
Straight to North, yeah.
So Manly 19 and then 20.
I was only there. Well, I was there for like 2 years, but didn't play a game.
Oh wow, jeez.
Yeah, had a rough time with injuries, but Big shout out to Jared, the physio at North. We had a big 10 months and got my knee good and been sweet since, touch wood.
That's good.
We were actually co-founders of the Fat Boy Club, we call it at North.
Yeah.
Instead of calling it rehab running, it was me and
Fat Boy
Flynn, we
Club.
called it Fat Boy Club.
It was us two.
So I come off his shoulder up
Wasn't
and
much of a club.
we get
It's a
people
duo.
coming in and off, in and out.
Yeah. But then obviously I've transcended the whole shoot shield tournament, flipped it on his head, and it's getting a lot more exposure with me in there now. So
Yeah. A few good passes into people's backs.
yeah, I'm pretty good at that. That's one of my strengths.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Appo.
I mean, you were almost man of the match for Sydney Uni last year, semi-finals. How many try assists did you give Sydney
Just the
Uni?
one,
Just
but not
the
for
one?
my team. Yeah, that's my best pass all game.
He was rocking out of there.
Oh, I was standing there like I want a ball. I was looking at that.
So then, big news. It's obviously well documented because you're a big social media man. But father to be, and tell us the due date of the baby.
April Fool's Day. Yeah, when they read that out, we just all burst out laughing. That was pretty funny.
That's very you, though. to
yeah,
have
very me.
Very
Yeah.
Flynny, and also
Yeah.
it's pretty funny because
Still thinking it's a bit of a piss take at the moment. But
until it happens. Oh shit! Oh shit!
and people were really worried. You know, how are you going to be financially and all that? And a lot of people pointed out, and I'm sure Flynn was like, they're not going to have to buy their kid any clothes.
yeah, we're gonna share
with his
a
dad
few baby grows.
for a couple of weeks.
I don't know if it's mine or not yet, but I'm hoping so. So we'll see how it goes. When it comes out with dreadlocks, there'll be a few questions. There'll be a few questions asked. She did go home for 3 weeks as well, so the timings have all matched up.
Oh, we saw her yesterday. She's fucking looking massive.
Yeah, she's looking big. Yeah,
Are you nervous?
Nah. To find out if it's mine or
No.
oh, sorry.
No, the whole. Obviously, you
No,
can't.
it'll
you
come
won't-
natural to me,
you
man. I'm
can't-
pretty good at everything I do. I'll breeze.
Because from the dads that I've played with,
Yeah.
they use rugby as an excuse.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been thinking of this
as a good
Yeah.
outlet to try and get out of
Yeah.
child duties.
That's what I'll be doing. She's like, I'll bring it to the games, and it won't remember anything in the moment. Hold off.
Now that you actually spoke about it because you watch your dad and your brother play as a young fella.
Yeah, not
that's,
that young though.
But that's pretty cool though. That you should get to watch your dad run
Yeah,
around.
that is cool. Yeah, I don't know how many.
My
more
dad
years
couldn't
I
pick
got,
me up.
but-
The Sione's dad fucking one leg.
That was later, but
Your dad couldn't pick you up because you're so fucking heavy, cunt.
I didn't have that problem.
There you go.
I was on one hand though.
And then you fucking obviously post like you didn't really get that chance to just do footy full time, but you picked up an electrical trade along the way.
That's probably why I'm still here. Actually, yeah. Shout out
probably
to my
why
dad
Hannah's
for
still here.
making me do that. And Hannah, yeah. My dad told me I was doing an apprenticeship, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to. And he's like, well, you have to. And then I was like, yeah, well, I hated him for 4 or 5 years, and then I've ended up staying in Sydney because of it. So
Enjoying Sydney?
yeah, I love it. It's
Will you
great.
go back?
It's great. Nah, don't think so.
He's never going back.
Well, I'm at a kid, you know, so I'm a bit
And
stuck.
we'll be reminded every day by Uncle Al that's fucking Australian.
Yeah, it's going to have an English, Welsh, and Aussie accent, so it's going to sound like a bit of an alien, I think.
It's going to have to come with
Hold on, an alien with dreadlocks.
4-foot alien with dreadlocks.
And I know another part of your life has always been fun is you've done a fair few interesting tours.
Yeah, I've done a few. Travelled a bit.
Ibiza, Tens, some other stuff. So it's good having a group chat with
Ibiza
Flinny because
6
about
times.
every month you'll get a new video that he's pulled out of the archive of him just breaking someone's ankles. We saw one recently that we'll make sure we put in this.
Still doing it in 28 as well.
He puts it like in a pretzel. Talk us through some of those tournaments.
Actually, the Ibiza one is very good because it's an invitational tournament, but the cash pot is like 15 grand if you win it. So like we used to turn up with such a good team, and not many teams knew about it. So it'd be like this is a rubbish tournament, and then we just win it and then spend the whole 15
Put the whole thing on the
Put the
bar.
whole thing on the bar, and then we you wouldn't see us for a few
Let him
days.
pay for the expenses in the bar that night.
So the sponsors had to have a bit of money from it, so they had
Yeah.
like $20 or something, and then we spent the 14 other thousand.
In terms of shoot shield experience, obviously you seem to be thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah.
Any standouts? We're talking on field. At both obviously your time at Manly and obviously your time in Norse. that stands out to you? Obviously, coming out of injury was probably
the biggest one, yeah, because it was quite a hefty injury, especially after doing it twice.
Yeah.
The second time I was a bit, not sure what I was going to do, but then obviously I had a good physio and stuff came out, so the biggest one was probably like making my Shoot Shield
First
debut.
grade.
Yeah, first grade debut. That was great.
Who was that against?
Uni, round 1 last year.
Yeah.
Nice. You guys won that
And we
game.
won, yeah. First time in a long time
Yeah.
away too, I think, which was pretty cool. So that was a good game. Any other ones? I always enjoy playing the Rats as well.
Yeah, well, it's
I'm not a
great.
big-
Yeah,
and then
what's
we
your
won that game as well. I put a kick in towards the end of the game, completely shanked the kick. It was horrific, and it bounced back over the winger's head, and we scored the corner to win the game. So I was like, yeah, I meant that. You meant that. I knew I was going to
carry on
So
after it was
I was
outstanding.
jumping up in the air. And it was great. So my 20 cents foot worked that day.
And obviously, you played with some different people over the years as well. Similar to that question from Dave, who's someone that you look at and you played with, maybe even
With or
played one person you played with and one person you played against, and you just go, fuck, they're just unreal.
that's a tough one. In terms of rugby players or
Like, well, what else?
rugby
athletes?
players?
or athletes?
No, I
You know
would
what I
say
mean? Rugby
no.
IQ
Well,
or
obviously,
athletes?
in
I would say
playing-
rugby players because some of the best athletes, not necessarily the best rugby IQ.
That's my point.
So-
I've played with some
I
good
thought you were
rugby
talking about
players.
people
but-
you play with, like when we play up, when we're out in the piss all the time, standing on tables and shit.
we can't. Yeah, that's a different story.
That's a different-
when I'm
that's a
getting
different
carried
pod-
out naked and stuff.
Not play up in other ways. We're talking about playing up on tables.
I know. I played a lot of athletes. Obviously, the sevens circuit. Half of the bloody Americans and New Zealanders and Fijians are all. Jerry Tuai was the best sevens player for sure. Goat.
yeah.
Copping a lot of
Did you
stick-
ever play against
copping
him?
a lot of stick at the moment. Yeah.
Did you played
Yeah,
against
yeah,
him? Yeah.
Unreal. In terms of like rugby players, I don't know. I've played
you
with a couple
played
of
with-
good tens.
Yeah.
A couple of good tens. James Garland from my old club, Abraham, was great.
Well, they make your pass look good. So.
Yeah. When they, they got to cop a lot, and when they stab back and stuff.
I
But
played with a lot of better nines. Fucking
yeah,
hell. Not many. Actually, that's a lie. Not many.
yeah. Best of a bad bunch.
What about people at, like, who's someone you've played with at North that you've maybe seen kind of come through, or what that you didn't know is going to probably take us that next level, or has already just done that?
Oh, well, we made a few good signings last year. Like Jude had obviously a very good year. Then Henry O'Donnell come for the latter end of the season, who had a
To
great
the
few years.
detriment
Then got
of your best mate, Nath Russell.
picked that, but then he excelled on the wing, mate.
Yeah, mate,
so
Russ.
if you watch the final, he had a very good game.
Don't tell Russ.
Shout out to Russ.
Don't tell Russ.
Shout out
Great
to
into
you.
the high ball.
You can play everywhere, can't you?
Just keep the ball away from his foot. And
He actually put in quite a good kick that. I was
that
like,
game, our first one of the season.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah. That one actually didn't go behind him.
The game that he played it when we were at Magic Round with me, Sione and Dave were watching, he put 2 kicks behind himself. It was a fucking low point for Russ, I think.
Also, Lukey G had a great season.
Yeah.
As well. I thought he was awesome. Great signing last year.
Oh yeah, he was.
And then me, obviously, I was class as well. But if I got any sense, I'll be having a lot more game time this year.
So you're running again this year?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, topped the Bronco times on Thursday.
Yeah,
Oh,
PB actually.
How'd you go?
4.23.
4.23.
Good one for me.
The best video, he sandbagged it. We drive to training with another halfback. Him and Rads get along really well. There's not competition there, but when it comes to doing the Broncos, everyone's Cole Carr right there. He's like, geez, my fucking Achilles are hurt before training, and then just goes and casually runs
Yeah.
a 4.23 Bronco.
Make a few excuses before you
4.23. Jesus
get them
Christ.
in early.
Yeah.
It must be easy carrying about fucking 60 kilos around.
Yeah,
isn't it?
but if I'm tackling you, you're feeling every kilo of it.
Fucking.
you know about it.
Oh.
I probably break 4 bones in the process.
His first game back last year in the 3rd grade, he did dump someone on their back. This is 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think he's still there.
Jesus.
His numbers imprinted in the floor.
What's it called? My question is obviously interesting that you say you were traveling the World Series for sevens and still working as a still.
Still doing that. Yeah.
Sydney now, you're playing obviously Shoot Shield, working as a Sparky. I don't think a lot of people realise just how much people within the Shoot Shield competition have to go to work Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, and then turn up
And then
on
do
a
that.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Let alone Tuesday, Monday, 3 trainings or 2 trainings.
Yeah.
It's always something that people forget Yeah. How have you kind of try and manage all that sort of balance of being able to, because you don't have any choice. You have to work.
You've got to do it. Yeah. I find obviously it's not nice finishing at like. The biggest problem we got at the moment is we're training in Macquarie Uni.
Fuck, mate.
Yeah,
so
right.
You've got to you get like half hour after work, and you've got an hour's drive. Yeah, so that's a bit tough. But I think we're only there for like another week or so.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, working and playing here is a lot easier than working and playing back home, because you've got to work in the dark, and then you come home in the dark, and then you got to train in torrential rain, and it's depressing.
Yeah, it's always something I feel like people don't appreciate as much.
Yeah, that's tough. But like going to when you're here and it's sunny all day and you're working on the beaches and stuff, it's a little easier. But
and especially when you get the training at 6:30 and it's still the sun's still halfway.
The sun is still out. Yeah.
And some of those, but sometimes
I prefer a bit of rain because then I feel like I'm home.
But midwinter when Beery's flogging a dead horse till about 8:30. Fuck, and we got
everyone's like, mate, wrap it up, mate.
Yeah, me and Fenn are like, we got to get up in 2 hours. It's nice for a few white collar workers like yourself, Dave. But
don't do my bit. Don't discount.
Still training in our steel toe caps.
Yeah. No, it's because I think it's a massive balancing act, and people don't realise that.
Yeah.
Out of the 900 registered players in Australia, probably 90 or 80% of them have to go to work Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And turn up and pay their rego.
Oh, that's the worst
Unless
bit.
you work for yourself, you're able to sleep in. That's always good.
Must be nice, is it?
No.
There we go.
It starts at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it must be nice.
That's a fucking early
He's
morning.
on by dinner.
That's an early morning. Flynn, now looking forward, like obviously rugby's been a massive part of your life. Since you've come to North Seven, for me, like you've always helped out around the club and really bought into the club, and not just on the field, off the field. Not just drinking piss, but also not drinking piss.
I've eased up on that now. My dad, no.
Fucking hell.
Not yet.
What's the
allegedly.
Where can you see rugby playing a role in your life after you've stopped playing?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd love to do a bit of coaching.
Yeah.
I've always said to myself I'd do a bit. The way I'm feeling at the moment, I'm very close to doing it. But nah. Obviously, with the baby and stuff, try and get them around the game and a lot more. And it's given me a lot, and all the life lessons and stuff. It's the best, and you make a lot of friends on the way. So even like coming the other side of the world, and some of my closest mates are here now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty random.
Like Russ and Dave and a few of the other boys. I've got some good mates in North. So
just casually
Russ, Dave, there's all the core group of North boys. Got a group of men. So
I fucking hated living too. I hated living in the same unit block as you. That was fucking dangerous.
But no, I'd love to do a bit of coaching if I could. I don't think there's a lot of sevens coaches at the moment, so maybe that could be something to go into.
A little niche to get into.
Yeah, there's a little gap in the market for little Flynn there.
You love hitting the little gap, don't you?
Oh, you know I do.
Every gap's little.
Every little gap I can get into.
It has to be tiny if it's a little gap for you. Mate, thank you so much for giving us your very valuable time.
Thanks for having me, boys.
You probably would just be doing laps around freshwater trying to keep yourself occupied. But thanks for coming on, Flinny.
My pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing you run out this year in red and black, as always.
Can't wait. I hope the podcast takes off after this and you get a lot of exposure from it. Thanks, boys.
Back in Port Albert.
Yeah. This will go global after this.
Good luck with the baby.
Freshwater in Port Albert. Mr. Worldwide.
Thanks, mate.
My pleasure. Thanks, boys.
Thanks for coming in.
And we'll wrap up our time here with Ryan with questions. We got one question, and it's a rugby related. You boys are long time retired. What's something on field that you guys miss about rugby?
Oh,
on field,
literally on the field, literally being able to hurt someone legally. You know, like you can just like, that guy's fucking annoying me, I'm going to hurt him. And then you can do it and not get in trouble. Because at work, I can't, you know? But at rugby, you can do it. I miss it, man. Oh, and the rugby.
I didn't have that. I hated contact. I miss folding, not getting folded, but those times that I actually folded other scrums. And they're on the ground, and you're standing over it.
Was this still the scram segment?
Oh, come on, Matt. But folding scrums, mate, being the folder is a good feeling. Which was probably only against Norths. and that one time you got forced to play tight end. And also bumping off players. I was always only attack. I hated defense. But yeah, when you bump off old mate, that was one of the feelings I miss about rugby. But other than that, don't really miss it at all.
Oh, mate, I thought you were going to do a bit of a shout-out segment, and if there is one, or if there's not one, where is one now? Shout-out to everyone doing pre-season. Fuck that.
Yeah. I hate it.
I did Malcolm's last night at Issy's training. And, yeah, I was like, what I was trying to do was run next to the fat kid and encourage him. And then he tried to gas me at the end, and I was like, you fucking serious, mate? Like, you've been crying this whole Malcolm, and then you've got the audacity to try and gas me at the end?
Yeah.
When you've just been fucking crying like a little bitch. Anyway.
I get it, mate. I get it. That was me.
Oh, no. We're going to do the gauntlet on Thursday. Fucking run. See what happens, bros.
Is he fat?
And just launch an 11-year-old. Nah, he's not, man. Like, he's just like a little nugget.
Oh, yeah. That was like, remember the Project 180 days? And Robert Tanielu's kids used to come to Project 180. Yeah. We did the laps around.
That was the best of these.
We had to do laps around, and he was coming behind me. He was catching up to me. I was like, I did shake him back, just move so he wouldn't try and beat me, and then just keep gassing so he wouldn't catch me.
Did he beat you?
Nah, because I kept blocking him.
He's fucking so strong now. But yeah, man, I'm pissed off now. We're gonna launch him tomorrow. We're gonna do more Malcolms.
That was good.
I'm coaching tomorrow because the coach is away. So
that's cool. All right, my shout out is Jacob Flynn. It's good to have him on the show. Chuck in your discount code, get your treat yourself at the PAC page. Yeah, mate, I'm sweating. We'll quickly go to Ben Tune of the week, and we'll see you guys next week. I've gone with a little bit of an Afro beats vibe, and thank you, Tony. For copyright reasons, our Ben Tune of the week is only available on audio streaming platforms, so head on over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Otherwise, we'll catch you next week.